Hey guys, I'm doing a rehousing video for my larger Brachypelma albopilosum, and this is a shoebox size enclosure. And what I did was I made it with this wooden cave, kind of like the wedge shaped one, at first, and then you know what would happen. I had it in there and I couldn't put the lid on, so I was like, well, that's just great. So, and I already had that cave anyway. It's not like I bought it special for this. But so what I decided to do was use just a little plastic cup, and that will be her cave. Not as pretty looking or natural looking as the wood, but it will have to do. I'm sure she won't care. She likes to hide in her cave. But so yeah. So I am going to put the camera down here. I've already tested her mood, so I am willing to hold her. Most of my teas I cannot even handle, but this one I can after I double check that she's cool with it. So she's actually quite docile right now, so I'm going to get her out here. Like that. Hi, sweetie. Oh, she's just so sweet. Look at her. And I'm going to put her... You might prefer to go in there, sweetheart. Let's try this. She's webbed all over me, too. She does not want to go in there. Come on. You'll like it. There you go. See, I told you you'd like it. So yeah, so she's good now. They don't like it on the damp side, so, but usually what I do when I first put in a new substrate, I will dampen it just a little bit, just to kind of get it to settle a little bit, not be so dusty and loose. But it seems to work that way. And I got her water dish right there with her little pebbles in there. And not that she would drown in a cup that small, but I just like to help her out a little bit so that way she doesn't have to dip as far to get a drink. So there you go. There's our old enclosure. And here's our larger one. So she should be able to stay in there for a little while. Alright, well, we'll let her de-stress and we'll move on to the next rehousing. Probably won't go as easily as this one. Alright, next up I will be rehousing my Lasiodora parahybana that recently molted. So, just like with the last enclosure, since it's just like it's the same type of enclosure, I'm going to have to use a cup for a cave rather than the nice wooden wedge. That would look better, but I don't think the tea's going to care. Now, LPs are usually better at displaying themselves. They don't burrow that much, especially when they get bigger. But I always, in many cases, I like to provide a cave anyway, just to give them that option, you know. So, if they get spooked, they can hide in the cave. So, I'm just going to put the cup like that, kind of scoop some to the side like that, scoop some in there so it'll feel more natural, and kind of cover the top. And like I did with the last one, I'm going to spray it. The LPs don't require that much humidity either, which is why some people choose to get the LP rather than the Therafosa, because you do get the same size, but you don't have as much of the maintenance like you do with the Theraphosa, which require more humidity than the LPs. So, so I'm just going to put just a light mist in there, like I said earlier, just to kind of get it to stick together, because this is a loose cocoa fiber bedding. Now, someone said that I probably shouldn't get the loosest kind because it's more likely to collapse. Well, I can see that. However, the webbing actually works out really well with this type of substrate. Once they get going, the webbing sticks really well to it, so it doesn't become a problem really. Here's a water dish. I'm just going to stick in there, and I'll just put one little pebble in there. That will be good. Again, not that the tea would drown, but just to kind of give it a little extra footing, so that way it didn't have to dive as deep to get the drink. And then I'll just pour some water in, like that. And I got it a bigger water dish now, because it's a bigger tea now that it malted. And there we have it. Now, this is not going to be fun. I will not be able to handle this one like I did with the albopilosum, because this one is definitely on the skittish side. And in fact, she will probably kick hairs, which is a shame because she just molted and has a nice abdomen now. But of course that will probably change once she gets all spooked. So, I'm going to move this. Let's see. She's in that cup right now. I'm going to try to lift up the cup and see what happens. Yep, see, there she goes. Kicking hairs. There, look at those hairs. Look at that. Look. More than you think. So, what I'm going to do is just kind of leave it like that and just let her get out on her own, so that way she doesn't kick her her abdomen completely bald. But, yeah. So I guess that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. In fact, some teas, especially your more skittish ones, might like it if you add some of their old webbing in there, so they'll feel a little bit more at home. So I'm going to just kind of stick it in there, and she can move it around or whatever she wants to do. Very cool. Alright, well, wasn't quite so bad, just got hairs everywhere. I'll remove that cup once she is out of it, if she's ever out of it. I'm sure she will be. So that cup will only be in there temporarily until she decides to move on her own. I don't want to stress her out more than she already is. Alright, we'll move on to a different rehousing. Hey guys, I will next be rehousing my Rehousing murinus, the skeleton. I've already put plenty of holes in the container and on the lid, so it should be good with that. So I'm just going to add a little substrate here. Well, actually quite a bit of substrate, because they do like to burrow. And it will probably make its own cave, but I'm going to put just one of these in here just in case it wants to use it. So just add a little here, cover it up like that. Now this one does require more humidity than the ones I did previously. So this one will be too small to put in a water dish, so I'm going to spray this liberally like that. Don't want to make it too damp, but definitely damp enough. I even sprayed the lid here. So now I'm going to attempt to put the tea in. This is a very runny tea, so I got a catch cup ready, just in case. This one did molt recently. So, let's see. Okay. Oh, wow. I didn't realize that the stripings on the legs would already start to show. But they have. I don't know if you could... Well, I don't think you could see that. Wow, I did not know that. It's already showing. Yeah, he or she is not going to go peacefully, which is pretty much what I expected. And there it is. I had no idea that the stripings on the legs already start showing this early on. So that really makes me happy. Look at that. Gorgeous. Wow. Well, I got you plenty to drink in there. So you should be good to go. Wow. Gorgeous. Can you see those stripes on the legs there? Very cool. And there's the molt. And there's the tea. Really cool. So beautiful. Alright, well, we'll let he or she get used to its new enclosure, and stay tuned for more. Thanks. Hey guys, this is just your run-of-the-mill garden spider that show up around this time of year, late July and August. You will see them a lot in bushes and shrubs and, well, gardens. And they are known for making that little squiggly web down the middle of their web, and when they're agitated, they'll start swaying back and forth pretty fast on that web. And in this enclosure, I just have a whole bunch of sticks and a little bit of dirt at the bottom, so that way it could make its web real good. But this is just a large critter keeper that I have it in, and I'm just going to open the small part at the top so that way I don't disturb the web. And I'm going to feed it a cricket and let you see the cool action. Hopefully I can get the cricket just right on the webbing. Let me see. Let's find a good one in here. There we go. Well, that didn't work. Let me try another one. It molted not too long ago, but I would have thought it would have hardened up by now. But anyway, I do want you to see it grab the cricket if I can, because it's really interesting how quickly it webs it up. See that? That's what it does when it's agitated. That's what they do. They vibrate their web like that. So apparently this one's not in the mood to eat right now, so I'm just going to leave those in there, and I'm sure it'll get it later. But at least you got to see it, and got to see it when it got agitated. And here's what the whole entire enclosure looks like. Just put a bunch of sticks in there and bark, so that way it could string its web up effectively. And just a little bit of substrate on the bottom, no biggie. So it's got several crickets to munch on. Alright, well, I'll update you on this one later. Maybe we can catch it when it eats. Alright, thanks guys. I just want to show you a walking stick that my husband found for me to observe and video and take pictures of. I'm not going to keep this because I think this insect would thrive better in the wild, since it knows which plants to eat better than I know which plants it should eat. So I just think it would do better out in the wild. As much as I'd like to keep it, I just think in this case it would be better if it was back outdoors. So right now I'm just enjoying observing it and taking photos and video and such. Now it's on my camera. Trying to get it back onto my hand. Here we go. Isn't that awesome? I find them most fascinating because, I mean, they really do look like sticks. And yes, they do eat plants. Now these type of walking sticks are harmless. Okay. He keeps getting down. Hold on. There's some kind of species out there that will shoot acidic fluid with great accuracy, but not this one. Yeah, they eat plant life only. And of course, they have one of the best defense mechanisms in the world, and that is camouflage. Since they do look just like sticks, you know, they are very difficult to spot right off. And this one has become extremely adventurous and is crawling all over me right now. Won't be still. Of course, there's not... Okay, now it's on my face. Okay. There's not a whole lot of meat on these insects anyway, so I don't see how the ones that eat other bugs would like these, because they're not thick and meaty and juicy like a lot of other bugs out there. But, you know, some just aren't very picky. He's on my camera now. I don't know how to sex these, so I have no idea, you know. I don't know a whole lot about them, which is another reason why I'm not keeping it. I don't want to risk it dying in my care because of my lack of knowledge. But I just wanted to give you a little look-see. I live in Tennessee, so these are found all over the place if you're lucky enough to find one. Yeah, he's on my camera again. They do like it on the humid side. So this will, since we're having a pretty rainy summer here in Tennessee, I think this one will definitely be happy to be put outside. So there you have it. Alright, well, I think I'll take a few pictures and then I will say goodbye to this little fella. Or girl, whatever it is. Alright, thanks guys. Well, guess who just finished molting? My Acanthoscurria chacona. Isn't that awesome? She's still on her back, as you can see, so when I top her water dish, I'm going to, actually it looks like her water dish needs cleaning. I'm actually going to try not to disturb her, but I do need to freshen up her water and top it off real good. So that way she'll have plenty of water after she flips back over. But yeah, I already know she's a female, so but I always like to examine the molts anyway, just to kind of give myself practice. But awesome. I noticed she had made the web bed yesterday, so I thought, I bet that's what she's about to do. Look at her moving there. Cool. Well, I'm going to very carefully remove the molt. It is completely detached from her. So, and freshen up her water. Alright guys, I'll show you what she looks like later on. This molt from the Acanthoscurria chacona is about as fresh as a molt can get. I mean, she must have just literally, you know, finished molting. I don't know if you could see where my thumb is pointing, but that flap right there indicates that she's a female. Right there. And you can even tell that, maybe you can, I don't know if you can on camera, but the molt is barely damp. So you know that they do lose fluids when they molt. So that's why, one of the reasons why it's important to make sure they have water. So that they can replenish their lost fluid, and plus it's just very strenuous for a tarantula to molt. But yes, very fresh molt. There's the flap, the tip of my thumb. So looks very nice. Very nice molt right here. Awesome. Gonna stretch it out a little bit so you can kind of get an idea how large she is. Yeah. Very cool. Alright, well, once she hardens up a bit, I'll show you what she looks like. Alright, thanks guys. I saw this one coming. This is my smaller Brachypelma albopilosum that molted. I saw it had made a web bed, so I knew it was imminent. But yeah, I'll see if I can examine the molt. It's awfully tiny though. Wish me luck on that. But yeah, doing great. So I'm going to give this one something to drink. Alright.